Hey everyone, welcome back to When Creatives Thrive, a BOPA podcast. I'm Stuart Rustin, the multimedia manager at BOPA, and in this episode, we're joined by Zoe Scott of Knowledge Couture. Zoe is a Baltimore-based sustainable fashion designer and longtime upcycler. Through her practice of upcycling, she transforms garments that might otherwise end up in a landfill into elevated outfits by breaking down clothing and reassembling it into fresh new looks. We'll discuss how her parents unintentionally gave her the tools to become a sustainable artist, and how her design work challenges us to reconsider our personal style and the way we value our wardrobe. We also discuss the harmful effects of buying from big box retailers, including the creation of excess waste and harsh factory conditions where the products are made. We end with Zoe's interest in community engagement, including a new campaign to spread financial literacy by demonstrating how Baltimoreans can save money by investing in sustainable fashion. Zoe, welcome to When Creatives Thrive. Thank you so much for being here.
Oh, you're welcome, and thank you. I appreciate it.
What is sustainable fashion? What is upcycling? These are words that I hadn't heard of until we got to know one another, or just concepts that I wasn't familiar with. Can you give me a sense of who you are and how you fit into fashion?
Oh, sure, absolutely. Thank you so much, Stuart. Again, it's Zoe Scott here. I'm a sustainable fashion designer here, born and raised in Baltimore. My name is Zoe Scott, but I go by Zoe the Fashion God on social media. I started out in fashion by just having access to simple needle and thread, right, as a kid to play. And I just realized, oh man, this is fun. So I started cutting up my mom and dad's pieces of clothing to make clothing for my Barbie dolls and Skipper, Ken, and G.I. Joe, whatever was around the house. Cabbage Patch, I'm making clothes for them, right? So that was kind of how I got introduced to sustainability, not knowing then that I was a little creative, little sustainable artist. And I kind of took on that skill set and that mindset as I got older to produce my own garments that I just wanted to wear. And I just was super excited all the time to be able to wear something that I made and be able to express that artistry and those emotions that I felt within growing, right? And when you talk about upcycling is basically, where you take one item or two items and break them down and make a whole nother item. And it's really cool because you get to, if you're anything like me, I'm a science person. I love science and biology. I like to break things down, and see what they're made of, So it's always good to kind of deconstruct something too, because you get to see what's inside. You get to see what's going on, and then to be able to take those elements and apply it to something else and revive something else is just the coolest thing.
What are the kinds of benefits that even a local person living in Baltimore could draw from changing their lifestyle or accepting something like sustainability or upcycling into their wardrobe?
You could definitely save a lot of money by not shopping. And I don't know, I guess you have to figure out, why do you shop? That's the first question, right?
It's true.
And a lot of people just go out and buy things because we're geared and we're trained, we're programmed to go out and buy.
Maybe we're a little bored.
Yeah, or bored, or you just have money and you just don't know what to do with it, or you don't have any. I think the biggest thing is people don't understand how to plan their monies out to do things that they want to do. It's just kind of I have it, I'll spend it, I'll get it back.
It's kind of less intentional.
Yeah, and it's less intentional. So you go out, you buy all these things, right? And then you have a house full of clothes, and you're not really understanding, when you're going out buying these items, who worked to the bone to make that one piece. Because in other countries, we only just see the shiny piece that's in the store, that's in the mall looking good, right?
Definitely.
We don't see what's going on in the other countries.
No.
And how they're suffering, and how then it come over here, we sell it, we make thousands of dollars, especially the big companies. It goes to trash, right? Then it goes back over there where it came from. That's what we have to tap into, and that's what we have to make people aware of. It's we got to change our mindset to understand that building quality over quantity, because a lot of times people think quantity is happiness, but it's not.
I think when you associate value with your clothing, you're more likely to try to figure out a way to keep it in your wardrobe, even if it's kind of faded or it's not, the thing that's in style right now. You love it enough to be able to just park it somewhere and say, hey, I'm going to find a place for you.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And it makes you feel good. Like that person who wears those same jeans every day, they're not doing that because they're cheap. They're doing that because that shirt or that cardigan or those pants or those shoes has quality to them. So I would just rather have that quality and keep my money.
Just based on our time knowing each other, it seems like you love being out in the world, interacting with people, showing off what you do. Mm-hmm. You seem super open about sharing, this is sustainable fashion. Here is how I upcycle. You can watch me do it in real time. I mean, I watched you put an outfit together in like 20 minutes.
Oh, yeah, when we was down at the dock.
Yeah, when we were down at the Baltimore Museum of Industry. Why do you continue to do that? Why is that kind of community interaction important to you?
It's like, for me, it's like a kid in the candy store, right? Where I just get to enjoy everything that's around me at one time. And it's just an overall joy that's unmatched, that sometimes I really can't explain it, but to get that much excitement and to do something immediately.
What do you feel when you're actually upcycling, or when you have a couple of garments and you're combining them?
What does it feel like?
What does it feel like? What is that process for you?
It feels like, oh my gosh, watch when I see this. It's like an explosion in my body, right? That just sets off all these different mechanics, kind of like Edward Scissorhands, kind of like how he has all these different things like going on all at once. And he just had all these different things. And it's like, who would have thought Edward, with all these scissors, would have made a statue of a dinosaur in the front yard, right? And that's the excitement that I get. People are looking at this weirdo, wondering, did you just... Yeah, that's me. I did that. And that's the excitement that I get for the finished product, not even knowing, like, I put stuff in my head together, again, like, not even knowing what the outcome could possibly be, because, again, I just randomly do stuff. So, again, I'm working with, like, the toughest fabric or the worst, the most intricate thing to work with, but yet I make it, like, what? Dang. It seems like I knew I could do it.
You said that sometimes people look at you like a weirdo.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
People just automatically take that first what word I'm trying to use?
Like maybe their first
impression,
right.
Yeah. And
when they
like,
see something that you've made.
Yeah, or when they just kind of like, not necessarily weirdo, but kind of like, wait a minute, she's out there type,
But what is that? I mean, because I think that's almost kind of what we were talking about earlier, is people have to be open-minded. They've got to have a little bit more of an imagination.
Yeah, and just understand. And then, but we're so like just kind of locked in that nobody
trained,
wants to.
really.
Yeah, we're pretty much like
it?
trained that if it's not, what you're used to seeing, then you're not in the norm.
Right.
But being in the norm is what have people going out buying fast fashion. Being in the norm is what have people not being able to express themselves because they're afraid. Because they're
breaking the bank while they're doing it.
Yeah, breaking the bank because you're trying to look like somebody else because you're afraid to maybe mix polka dots and plaid, but you don't because of the norm, right?
Well, that's big too, because then you got to know who you are, right?
Right.
You got to know who you are when you're dressing yourself. You got to know what makes you feel good and feel right.
Right.
And that's a process.
It definitely is a process, but if you never give it a shot,
you got to give it a shot.
And you never change your mindset, who knows? Like a lot of times, some of the upcycle workshops that I've done and I've gotten with kids and adults and we sit in there and we put all this stuff and I say, okay, write down, some of your favorite things or, whatever. And Because that's my process. Sometimes I'll just write down maybe a color or write down a song or write down, an object or a shape that I want to create, if it's a t-shirt, sweatshirt, whatever. And then I'll just develop off of that. Okay, well, if I want to do that, then maybe if I change the sleeves or if I change the collar, then I can, whatever. So then when I get with you, say, I don't know how to design. I'm not a designer. I don't know how to do this. I don't know how to do that. By the end of the day, I made 10 designers in a room. That's lit, to be able to.
And you take that into your life,
Yeah, to be able to, I was in tears when we did the one. And she was just like, oh, I was inspired. She was inspired by something I had on that I made.
Right.
And she made a bag that resembled it and had the little slashes. She did the buttons on it. She did the whole thing. Almost cried. But, I did. I told them that I would, but I did when I left because I'm emotional and I just love it though. But I'm passionate, but I'm emotional, and it's like, man, you can't get no other feeling from that. And kids who, I can't speak for all the backgrounds, but it's a common background where they go through things, right? We're not gonna pick, give it one category, but teenagers, they go through different things, different scenarios, right? I had the quietest kid in the room over there jamming, making clothes, doing stuff, coming out of their box, stepping out of their shell, talking.
Right.
Whereas though people look at them again with that quote unquote, like, oh, there's a weirdo, but they're not a weirdo. They're just doing their vibe and doing their thing at their own pace and at their own speed. You can't force it on somebody. You just have to let them self-discover.
You got to give people the tools to open up a bit.
Absolutely.
And experience something that it's not that they can't do or can't feel or can't whatever. No. It's just some sort of almost like a permission that you have to give yourself to
just open up and just do it. Just do it. And I thank God for my mom and my dad. Had I not had access to needle and thread, they gave me that to say explore. And that's what I did. And I found the love of my life by being able to explore, because I can constantly, no matter what, I have been giving the gift to create whatever I want and share that creativity with the world at any given time. Even if I just share my skills of sewing, I've given back. And I'm happy with that. That, I can continue to just give, so that's that. I'm getting a little emotional, but yeah, that's lit. Yep.
Well, if it's something that comes naturally to you and something that you've been given the chance to do, that's another kind of sustainability in a way. I mean, that you're going to keep getting up and doing that. That kind of passion is something that is really essential.
No, you're making me cry, Stu. See, he brought it out. I was going to wait till I got home with that. He brought it out. He put the tears out. But now, it just shows again that I'm just very passionate about what I do. Like, if I'm not in a place where I can create and teach and empower somebody else, I think I'm broken. And not think that I'm broken, but I just feel like there's an interference with what I'm placed on this earth to do. So whatever that interference is, we're breaking it. We're crushing it, because I have a due diligence for this world. Yeah. And for my life. And I want to sustain it and live it.
So we just stepped into 2025, whether we liked it or not. This is the most cliched question, but do you have any New Year's resolutions as it pertains to fashion in your practice?
Oh, yeah. So I wouldn't necessarily say resolution, because, again, we get trained and we try to normalize all these things, and it puts pressure on you when you don't get to accomplish what you set out to do. So my goal is to keep going. My goal is to keep going, keep pursuing, keep doing what's on my heart, keep learning, from the greats, learning from my, my higher ups, and just applying that knowledge to myself to better live myself. To live better myself, and also to apply that to someone else so they can live better and have that quality of life. So with that being said, I have a event that I feel like is going to go, we're going to probably do this thing monthly, man. We're going to do fashion and finances, right? And I'm going to introduce sustainable fashion and sustaining finances all in one bridge, and show how they go hand in hand, and show how you could sustain and save for your sustainable wardrobe and also save for your retirement or future goals or financial goals that you have in mind. You know, a lot of us, you know, we have goals that we want to achieve. How are we going to achieve those goals? You know, a lot of times we think we got to, you know, make a lot of money, but just understanding the money and how the money works and how to make your money work for you is something that I want to empower and educate people with, and how to manage that money to also, you know, not only have a sustainable life and, you know, wealthy pockets, but, you know, you have a sustainable wardrobe. So that's what I'm introducing.
That's kind of a plot twist, if you don't mind me interrupting, because I feel like most people associate artists with, oh, their heads are in the clouds. They don't really know what's going on. But it's kind of awesome that you put yourself out there and kind of break the mold a bit. Say, I'm a designer, I'm an artist. You know what? I got my checkbook figured out too.
Yeah.
You know that where did that come from? Can you talk a little bit more about, you know, the importance of financial literacy, or just getting to know how you said, you know, your money works for you?
Right. So it's actually funny because of a friend of mine. We had a conversation, and again, we talked a little bit back, and I meant to mention this before, but I'm gonna mention it now. I'm a person where, you know, if I learned how to win, I would win all day long, right? If we all knew how to win, we would just be winning, right? But when you can learn tools to apply to yourself to make sure that you're gonna win, that's where the biggest joy comes in. And I got with a team of people and a friend of mine, and I was given some strategies on how to win. And winning means having that quality, you know, a life, understanding, you know, about my money. And had I had this education sooner, you know, God knows where I would be, but it would definitely have made a bigger impact on my life and where I see myself, you know. So now with me learning that education, I want to share that education, you know, and share that understanding of, you know, a lot of times we may not think we have money to do certain things, but whole time, if you unlock that misunderstanding of your money,
It's like a strategy almost.
yeah, if you can unlock that and understand, like, okay, I have this amount, like understand where it's going at, to understand your goals and understand what do you want to do. And I was introduced to a platform that showed me that, and I applied it to my life, and I was just like, wow, this is some dope stuff. I looked at my finances as like this ghost in the closet. You know, you're in bed and it's like, man, I don't want to look in that closet. Oh my God, just finances in there, you know? And I always kind of like had this thing like, man, I know it's terrible. And I know that when I open that monster's going to get out there and grab me, right? But once I started to learn, knowledge gang,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? And I opened that closet, it was this little tiny ass monster. I could have kicked his ass a long time ago. You know what I mean?
100%.
So what does that say? Change your mindset, right? Change your mindset. Unlock that door and see what's in there, man. But that's the choice that you have to make for your own self. And it wasn't until I made that, and that's just the best analogy that I can give it. And we laugh about that all the time. But it was like, you know what? It makes it better and better and better. If I sit back and I don't, you know, pay this, but I say I want my credit score to go up, but I don't want all these things. I want my credit score to go up. I want to live this life. But you're out buying fast fashion, right? Spending that money, but you're not paying your creditors off. You're not paying your debt. You're not making the move to better your credit to get the better credit score. You know, you're out spending that money. Won't you take that money, save it, not buy the fast fashion, wear something, revamp something in your wardrobe, get you a little bit of styling tips. Again, you can holler at me, Zoe the Fashion Guy. You need that too. Get some styling tips, save that money. You've made your money work. The money that you just made, instead of you going out and spending it, you're not making it work. But if you pay your credit card bill, now you're making it work, right?
Zoe, thank you so much for being with us. I mean, this has been an awesome conversation. What's coming up? Where do people find you? Tell us more.
All right, gang. That's what's up, Stu. Thank you so much, man. You can go onto my IG, that's Zoe Fashion God, GAWD. On Instagram, you can hit the link in the bio, or you can go to Eventbrite, Fashion and Finances with Knowledge Couture. You can sign up for that. It's a free event. We're going to talk sustainable fashion. We're going to talk sustainability and finances. That's going to be a dope event. We're going to be showing people how to, load those bags up. That's kind of like one of my intros to kind of giving people a resolution. Like, okay, what's your goal to fill your bag up this year? So we're going to do like a purse swap and some upcycling tips, and it's going to be fun. It's going to be a really dope event. So we're looking to do that every month. All you got to do is just bring a unused or lightly worn purse or pocketbook and bring it in, and we swap them out, and I show you how to fill them up, and we just have a good time. And then other than that, I'm going to continue to be great. So you'll continue to see me in the community. You'll continue to see me at events. If you have something that you want me to pop up at or pull up at or just show face, you can, again, always hit me up on IG or knowledgecouture@gmail.com. That's it.
Thanks so much to Zoe for being a part of the podcast. And remember, if you have a story to share and are interested in the arts and creative conversations, please reach out to me at srustin@promotioninarts.org to join in. And remember, when creatives thrive, we all rise.